Hello, everybody. This is just while I'm sitting here practicing some MTG. I got a Pro Tour qualifying event coming up in the next couple of weeks, so I figured while I'm sitting here playing that I would chat with y'all on the current situation that's going on. God, I need a haircut. I look like I'm growing a damn huckleberry bush on the top of my head. It's getting ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, just kind of talk about what's what's going on, situation and everything. I've done some more checking in on some stuff and some points that I pointed out were, as I said, when I get the ticket, it's not something that I can uh, openly sit there and expect him to show up. I got to get the ticket for a certain date, correct? And so let's say I get the ticket because Vero specifically said I am not responding. Of course, he said this a million times. I'm not responding to this. Is the last time I'm talking about Hurricane.Shane. Uh, and but he always does. Uh, until he shows the ticket. The problem with that is I get the ticket, and let's say I get it for a certain date. Stu's on here. What's up, my dude? Boondocking all the way, son, man. How you doing? But yeah. So if I get the ticket for a certain day, Stu brought up points, and I got thinking about it. Like I get out there and I get the ticket. I show him, like, okay, here's the ticket. It's for this date. Well, this date ain't good for me, or whatever. And then I got to get in a hotel and I got to stay down there for God knows how long, 3 or 4 days, a week, whatever. That adds up, and 500 for that's literally what it's looking like right now from what I've been checking. I don't know if y'all seen anything different. Birmingham to Seattle is the cheap range is $500. So, um, yeah, so that's where $500 and then a couple nights in the hotel. Uh, Travel pays, whatever gas for us to go out and eat, whatever we're doing, it adds up to like at least $1,000 is what I'm thinking. So I get $1,000 together to go demolish this fool. Hey, Stu's relaxing with beer and vodka? Oh, dude, man, that's tough. That beer and vodka, I love my beer, but the only time that I ever had a hangover in my life was vodka and orange juice, and it was the worst experience of my life. I swear, like I don't get hangovers at all. I drink uh, Jack, Jim, Crown, all that good shit. Uh, I used to mix it. Now I just drink it straight. And they actually got a Jim Beam apple and it's like a cinnamon type deal thing. What's it called? I don't know. It's some kind of cinnamon whiskey. It's really good. Fireball. That's what it is. Fireball is really good. And it never drink vodka with OJ. Don't ever drink vodka. Never drink vodka with OJ, Stu. It's like I said. I went over to this guy's house and we was just hanging out and everything like that. And he said, "Hey man, you come out here and help me work on a porch, and I'll buy the beer." I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds like a great deal, man. Yeah, you gonna buy me beer? Yeah, buddy." So he buys 2 24 packs, Bud Light. And I was like, dude, I like Bud Light and everything like that, but can we go get some Corona? And he's like, yeah, let's go get some Corona. So he got me some Corona. I got me 2 12 packs of that. We end up going through the night. We end up burning some tires after we get done doing the porch and everything like that. And then I ran out of my fucking Coronas. He's like, yo, man, I got some vodka in here and some OJ. You need to try it. And I've never tried it before. I was like, yeah, okay. So I drank it. And when I'm drinking, even whiskey, of course, I get like like, y'all think I talk a bunch of shit on here. You should see me when I'm drunk. Oh, shit. You don't want to be around me when I'm drinking because I talk some serious shit when I'm drunk. Like, this one time, I'm jumping around on stories. I'll finish the story first. So, me and Nathan sitting there chilling, and I'm like, I don't get wobbly or anything like that. I'm sitting there propped up on this truck, and I start drinking this OJ. And I get about, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 of mixed deals in me. And then, like, I'm sitting there having a conversation with him, and then all of a sudden, Nathan is like having a conversation with me. And I'm sitting on the other side of the truck, and then he looks over, and I'm gone. Like, he's like, "Yeah, where you at?" And I'm like underneath this truck, and I said, "I'm checking the oil." Whatever happened in that OJ and that vodka, it fucked me up. And so he's like, he picks me up, and he's like, "Dude, you got to go lay down." And I'm in his house, and his wife's there, and she's still up and everything like that. And I'm like, okay. I'm like walking through the front door, and I'm like, where am I sleeping? And he's like, right there on the couch. And I literally like fall from the door onto the couch, and I'm like, thought I was gonna be out. That didn't happen. All of a sudden, it hit me like the throw up. You know that stage to where you're like, oh shit. So I run across into his bathroom, and the entire way I'm shooting like the Exorcist vomit, like everywhere in his house. Get to the toilet, spray it everywhere, throw up in the tub, end up actually laying in the tub and just leaning over the tub and like puking into the toilet. And I'm like, oh, I was like, it was horrible. His wife then got to turn around and clean up all that shit, and I felt so bad. They was telling me about it in the morning. And I woke up. So what? I freeze my vodka and drink it with lemonade, bitter or orange lemonade. That actually sounds actually pretty good. That actually does sound pretty good. But it's I was like, I had the worst headache when I woke up, and he had a little 3 year old, and the 3 year old was like really super hyperactive, and we like it's like 4 o'clock at night when all that was going on, and his kid's up at like 6 with fucking. He's got this bangy like chain thing, like a little drum with the little rings on it, and he's going through the whole house like ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, oh my fucking god, please stop, please stop. Oh my god, please stop. And that's the first time I felt just like just tripping the kid or some shit, and I couldn't even do it. And they dropped me off at my house. Like, they take me and they said, Shane, you gonna be good? You gonna be good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. We stopped like 4 times and it's a 10-minute drive. I throw up like 4 times before I get to the house. I said, just drop me off at the gate. I get to the gate and it's like 100-yard walk. Yeah, we all been there. Stu's right. We all been there. It's a 100-yard walk to my front porch from my gate. So I get to the gate and I'm looking at my house, and then 100 yards literally turned into like 1,000 mile, fucking horizon. I'm like, I'm not gonna make it. So I literally sit at my gate, propped up on like my mailbox and shit, and I'm just like throwing up. And my dad comes out and he's like, "That's what you get, ain't it? You ain't gonna be drinking that much anymore, are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, you're a dick, Dad." But yeah, he didn't even help me up. He's like, "Hey, you done it yourself, so you can get your ass back in the house." So I was like, okay, that's cool. And yes, orange juice is too acidic, and that's the problem. I had acid reflux, and it was way too acidic, very bad. And so that was a horrible experience. But the one time that I really overdone it, but it was a party at my friend Eric's house to where is the tornadoes when it comes through. 2011 tornadoes when it hit, the big 2020 tornadoes come through. It like fucked up a bunch of shit. And me and my dad got up that morning and we started drinking like at like I don't know, like at 9 o'clock, drinking beer and shit, and we was cleaning up like all the trees, chainsawing and stuff. And Eric calls. He's like, "Dude, I got a generator in my house. We're having a bonfire tonight. Do you want to party?" Me and my dad done went through a 24 pack, and I'm like, "Hell, fucking yeah, I'm ready to party. Shit, yeah, let's get it going." So I'm drinking the entire way there. Get to the house, and there's like a blackout moment that you have, and somehow I ended up like in the blackout moment from like it's 6 hours before it got dark, and then the next thing I know, I'm sitting next to a bonfire, and there's like some really good looking women there. And this is when I was way younger, by the way. Uh, Not way younger, but old enough to drink. Okay, so we get out there, and his cousin had this chick that's been like I've been drinking so much I was falling around everywhere. Actually stumbled into his dad's shed trying to take a piss, and like knocked over a bunch of shit and found his dad's weed stash that come out. uh, Steve, I said similar with warm vodka and or yeah, warm vodka and orange juice. Just throwing up it's so nasty. It is horrible. But I find his dad's weed stash and knock it over, and I'm like, oh shit. And then Eric's like, "Get up, dude!" And my other buddy Donnie was like trying to help me up, and I'm like so belligerent at this point. I'm like, ah, and I like elbow him in the head, and Donnie's like, "Fuck that, leave him here." And I'm like, okay. But this girl, super sweet. I don't even remember her name, but she was like helping me up and like taking care of me, like had me a thing, got me a thing of water, uh, took me over there to the chair, and everything like that. And it's his cousin's girlfriend, and apparently I just go into flirtation mode to where I was like, I'm so sore and stiff. I was like, "Can you rub my shoulders for me for a little bit?" And she actually starts doing it, and I could see the cousin getting pissed, and it was funny. But anyway, she sits over there in his lap, and I start talking like some crazy shit. I was like, "Girl, you've been taking such good care of me. My love for you burns hotter than the 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 fire that I got my foot in right now. I had my foot in the fire. My foot was inside the fire." And they're like, "Dude, get it out," and another guy was like, "Dude, you just need to be quiet." And I was like, "No," I was like, "I ain't shutting up." And the girl was like, "No, it's okay, it's cool." And so his cousin gets super, super pissed. Like he starts like chewing her ass out and shit. And she's like, "Well, you can just take your ass on home." And so he left her ass there, which was a mistake because yet again I've been drinking, and me and this girl has developed a similar, bonded, moment of her taking care of me. I sober up, so I literally get to start talking with the chick, and she's like, "That dude's a fucking dick," and I'm like, "Yeah, he's a dick," and I was like, "That leaving me here without no ride." I was like, "I got you." I was like, "I got a ride. I'll get you where you need to go." And she's like, "No, I'm actually gonna stay here tonight." Yeah, buddy. You know what happened then? Yeah. So that was back in my wild days. I settled down now. I got my woman. She's perfect. I love her to death. I got my family, and I love them to death. But this is my wild times, So everybody goes through their wild times, and that's part of it. And so we're sitting there, you know, wake up the next morning, and I take her home and everything like that. And so Eric sits there and says, "Hey, dude, I got like this chick wanting to come over, and like, you know, don't freak out or nothing about her eye." And I'm like, "About her eye?" I was still like so sick and like shit. I was like, I ain't gonna ask him about it. But this girl shows up, and Me and Donnie is sitting on separate couches, and the girl walks in, and she is pretty good looking, and everything like that. But I did notice the eye, like you had one that was moving, like could follow you around, and then there's one that just like stayed right there. And Stu said, "I'm a single dad, and I'm still having wild times, man." Yeah, that's what you do, man. It's cool, but yeah, I settled down and I'm enjoying it, man. Actually, I'm having the best time of my life being a family man. Having that family bond is such a big thing, and having the woman that's got you back without question is amazing, and that's what I got, and I love it. But this girl, she's sitting there, and she is like straight up like hitting on all of us while we're there, right? But she's there for her, and she literally over there like drops the remote because the guy generator we're watching TV, drops the remote and bends over like right in front. And I look over at Donnie. Donnie looks back at me, and I'm like, "Girl, you don't even need to try." I'm like, I'm way too gone at this point. And Eric was sitting there, and he's like, flirting around with her and everything. And she ended up grinding on him and shit. And they go in the back room, and in like his parents' room or some shit. And no, 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 it was his little brother's room. His little brother's room, right? Okay, goes back there, and it's funny because me and Donnie sitting over there, and I'm like, I got like a little clock or watch stop clock on there or whatever. I'm like, I'm timing this shit. I'm like, you know, and it goes like 3 minutes, and I start making fun of the situation because I'm like, this, Eric, you guys like 3 minutes. That's a fucking joke, dude. But she ends up and gets out and leaves, right? And so we're sitting there, and I was like, Eric, I was like, dude, do you know that, like, I don't know who this chick's been with or anything, but, like, I know your brother didn't have no condoms in there, and I know you didn't have none on you, so, like, and he's like, oh, don't worry about it, man. And I'm like, okay. And then before I could finish the conversation, Don, he's like, what the fuck's up with her eye? I'm like, yeah, I'm like, yes. What is up with her eye? And he's like, oh yeah, she's got a glass eye, dude. Like she lost her eye and shit. And I'm like, okay. I was like, so back to the point about the condom situation. I'm like, dude, ain't you worried about getting like her pregnant or a STD or something? And he's like, oh, dude, don't worry about it. He's like, man, she's got some kind of cancer on her ovaries where she can't have kids. And I'm like, I'm sitting there just like I don't know what to say. And Donnie, which you gotta know Donnie, he's like this weed smoking dude that I used to hang out with. And he's like, so you're telling me that you just went and fucked a blind cancer patient? And then I just start laughing my ass off. And Eric, as serious as he can be, and he's like, well, if you want to put it like that. And Donnie's like, there ain't no other way to put it. She had a glass eye, she had cancer, and you did it with her. You fucked a blind cancer patient. you know? It's like shit, dude. You know? I don't know. I got a kick out of that night. It was a crazy night. But that's probably the worst I got, drunk off that, type of situation. But yeah, back, to some more shit, while I'm sitting here running my mouth. Uh, it's this whole situation that's going on with everything right now. Like I said, I'm a family man, and I don't want to do anything to jeopardize my family. But if there's any way for my ass to get out there to Washington, preferably to where I know for a fact that everything's going to be set up. Yes, I will gladly do a cage fight with Mr. Barham or Coconut Head, which he considers uh, racial slurs, which is not. He's got a head that looks like a coconut. I'm sorry. You can't tell me it does not look like a coconut. That's part of it. He's got a coconut head. He gets butthurt by that. And then, of course, you got the other people on there. Like, let's see. The thing is, Joe Coco was actually deal on when I was rolling around with my cousin and shit, doing the jits deal. He's like, to me, it looked like kind of like a sparring deal and everything like that, and people like that he's not being like overly critical. Like like he said, he's like, I got mad respect for the fact that you just show that you're doing something and you're putting it out there and you're not really giving a shit about what other people think. It's like you're on, like I was on a trampoline, I was in pajamas, I was, whatever. It's cool. So people like that I got respect for. I ain't gonna block them, but all these other idiots on here that are gonna try to like sit in behind a computer and provoke you to the point where and eventually, like I said, it don't bother me. I get a kick out of it. But this is serious time now, y'all. This is getting to the brass tacks to where I want the people that has an opinion that has a legitimate IQ level above a fucking, an ant. So I want people out there that's going to be commenting and talking and everything like that to, have a legitimate opinion on the situation. The channel where I'm going with this is, like I said, we'll be doing kind of like a street beef type deal thing, and for the new people jumping on here, don't get the wrong impression on me. I'm not no party animal. I'm a family dude, straight up, I've grown up a lot since then. When I met my wife, I knew from the moment that I met her that she was the one. Uh, my kid, I love him to death. He is the best thing ever. And then we found out we got a little girl on the way, so that's amazing. And literally, the white picket fence is all we need, and living the American dream. So don't get the wrong impression of me just because I'm a toothless looking hillbilly. But hey, you make fun of that too. It's all good. It's part of it. And but right now with Barrel, this could be some legitimate type of fight. And even Joe was like, there's like a zero impossible chance that there's too much weight, there's too much differential. That's why they have weight classes. And I'm like, yes, that is true. But if I go do this, and I say if I'm wanting to, I'm going to try everything in my power to do it, to go out and fight Barrel in a cage in an MMA bout. There has been more impossible things happen. Let's say like with Anderson Silva. Did anybody predict that Anderson Silva was going to get knocked out by Chris Weidman? Chris Weidman, a wrestler who had really no knockout power and really had no background in boxing or anything else and was really sloppy with his punches. But guess what? Anderson got cocky and got caught. That's what happened. Nobody expected it, so the impossible does happen. Now, I go out there and I fight Barrel and win or lose an MMA fight against this guy. He's going to have to work for it. I don't give a damn what anybody else says. He's going to have to work for it. It ain't going to be him just coming in there like another day at Mickey D's and going through and ordering drive-through. It ain't going to be that easy. He's going to have to. He's going to have to do something to. I could take a shot. Uh, his ground game, even he says, is not that great. So even whatever people think about my ground game, I sandbag, and you'll see in a couple of my videos that I will be posting once this bullshit is over with. The Boondockin' Brawlers videos. We actually had a couple of them to where my ground game looks completely different than what y'all saw. And there's a reason for that. And I'm playing it out like I want it to. But in all honesty, in a fight against Barrel, I'll give you a breakdown of what I think could happen. Okay. Barrel is what, 260? Maybe, something like that. And he's talking about grace period to where he's letting me try to build up the money or whatever, and he's still offering the 2 grand. Uh, and we done went over this. It's like, okay, listen, I got a spot on my phone, Stu. Hold on a second. Name calling between both you guys, the more professionalism, the better, I believe. Yeah, I believe in the professionalism part too, because like I said, the pissing contest, this stuff it needs to get out of the way, because the guy is, I don't know how old he is, but he's at least in his mid 30s. I'm 28. We're not kids. This ain't school to where you're calling the other guy a pussy, and then you're waiting to fight outside on the playground or some shit. This is some real stuff. This is some real man stuff. And he crossed the line that I felt that he crossed. And Stu says straight up talk, and Stu's not afraid to put it out there. And I respect that out of him. He gives it to you straight. And I prefer somebody to talk shit to me, or not talk shit to me, but tell me, like, say, hey, this is what you should be doing, or what I think you should be doing. And I will respect the fact that you got your opinion, because that's what it is. And Percy's on here. And yeah, and it comes from, let's see. Let's see if I can rotate this thing, because I got a spot on my phone that's like really messing up. Like me seeing the chat. So, hold on a second. Let me see. Oh, God. Okay. Rotate. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay. There we go. Okay. I'm going to read it real quick. Percy says it comes from Barham's side, name calling. Hurricane.Shane, you always talk straight up. And Stu says, thanks, bro. And I appreciate both of y'all on that. And did I turn my screen around? What is happening here? I'm telling you, this redneck does not know how to work a phone. But anyway, okay, there we go. But yeah, I mean, do that. I mean, I did do some name calling and stuff like that, and I admit that. But I was trying to provoke them into something, and I really wasn't really calling name calling. It was being like, I was telling him what he was. Like, he, in my opinion, was not a man. That he was a piece of shit. That he was a lying piece of shit. And Stu saying, he's saying both sides, and I agree. I did do both sides of the whole ordeal. And as I said before, that's done and over with, in my opinion. I'm done with it. It's just, now it's down to fight or not fight. You know, it's it's like the UFC has the build up of the big trash talkers. Chael's son and Randy Silva, when they had their deal. Conor McGregor, the king of all smack talk. But at the end of the day, when they get inside that cage and they fight, ultimately, majority of them earn the respect of the other one. Most of them. And Steve says it always happens. Yeah. So the majority of the time you're going to get the respect of that. And so now, am I saying that I'm going to go in there and me and Baron fight, and whatever happens, it's really on him if he gets my respect. If he continues to act like the little child part that I'm talking about, and I don't want to bring the name calling in, it's a little shaky the way he's doing things. I'm trying to professionally sit here and come up with a way for us to make this fight happen, to where he is making parody videos and stuff like that. I don't do that because, I mean, what's the point? It don't it don't do nothing. And you know, I think if Barham gets inside the cage with me, at the end of the day, regardless of what happens, I still hold that grudge about what he said. I will hold that grudge probably for a while, just because he's my He's my brother, you know. But damn, my head is just fuzzy as shit. But battery's running low, but that's okay. I still got a little bit of time. And so we go into the and do this cage fight, whether I win or lose. Uh, Graham will respect me before it's over with. I guarantee that. Just because he thinks that I'm not going to go do this, I'm not going to go do that. I have no skills whatsoever. He will find out differently, you know. And at the end of the match, win or lose, if he acts respectable, I will shake that man's hand and say, good job stepping up, taking the fight. Great job, even though I got to go all the way out there to Washington to do this, I will still do I will shake the guy's hand. From what I've seen from Barham, I do not think he would do that. That's my personal opinion. Y'all are open to you. Do you think a boxing ring would be better than a cage? No, I don't. Because yes, I do. I'm a better boxer than I am a ground guy. But boxing literally gives Barham even more advantage to where he's a bigger guy. It's going to look like Derek the Giant versus Charlie Lennonoff, to where you know we're wearing these padded gloves that you know the strength factor and punching. You can be a big dude and not know how to throw a punch and still land a shot. And UFC in the ring. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying, Stu. Hell, either way be fine with me. Yeah, as long as we're doing MMA, I think that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I like a cage better because I'm able, if I do get put on my back, I can take my feet and I can work my way around, a cage to get out of certain situations. And pinning people up against a cage and stuff like that. And I don't want people falling through the ropes or anything like that, and end up on the ground outside the ring, and then kind of come back in and restart and everything like that. So I think a cage would be better. And I know there are cages up there. He said it. So he's at a gym apparently. So obviously they're gonna have both boxing and a cage or street fight rules in the cage. Stu, I really love that idea, but good and well, Graham's not going to agree to that. I really love that idea. Kind of like the old Pride rules. You remember where Pride, to where they were, you could kick them in the face while they was down, knee to the head while they're down, stuff like that. And yeah, in a ring, that that's what they was doing. I'd be down for that too. You know, I'd be down for that. But Graham will not take a street fight. He's wanting legit rules in place. So that's cool. You know, and that's I ain't gonna sit there and badmouth guy over that shit anymore because, like I said, I'm moving past that. I I will do the MMA fight though. He wanted the MMA fight. That's what he's wanting. So that's what I'm going to do. And hopefully we can straighten this thing out to where it happens, because we do have unfinished business and everything has its return. And I will return the favor of the room saying, or Garum, my bad, catch me again mispronouncing his name, he'll freak the hell out. But yeah, so getting in there and doing this thing right and professionally and getting it done is what I think we need to do. Is he willing to do that? We'll see. Obviously, I've accepted the fight, MMA in a cage, MMA rules, including elbows. Uh, so, yeah, I'm down with that. Completely okay. You know, course, I wanted to street fight him, but let's do the MMA deal. So if we can get this figured out to where we can get it out there, uh, maybe people can hear about this. Like I said, Stu jumped in and said he'd throw in 100 to get me out there, which was that's crazy. That man, like that's nuts. Like that's some cool shit. And it's going to cost a lot of money to get me out there. Like I said, 500 is the lowest I've seen on a plane ticket. You know, so and hotel stays, days that we're gonna fight, and no, like, I appreciate it. See, he said no props. Stu's cool, and Percy, he's been bashing on Graham on a couple of different deals too, and I seen that, and Graham obviously don't like that, so. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to just jump on here while I was doing this, and I figured I'd talk to y'all, let y'all know my mindset, where I'm at, and everything like that. I'm still mad, yes, but I am cool and collected now. Be able to professionally move forward and get this fight going, and this is something that I think people would want to see. Frederick said he is interested. Stu, you're obviously interested. Percy, I'm sure you're interested in it. Ricky would be interested in it. Uh, all the vermin trolls would be interested in it. So, let's make this shit happen. Let's do it. I'm game. And Percy said, yeah, he's definitely interested in it. And the tactics that I'm going to use on the room, Baron, sorry, yet again. If you actually gave me a real name instead of hiding behind a fake one, that'd be nice. But, whatever. I'm good with it. So let's get it started. Enough with the pissing contests. There's no more bullcrap videos back and forth against each other or none of that shit. Let's just let me check. Okay, we're good. Let's just no more unless it's talking about how we're going to organize this fight. What date does Ram say he wanted to fight on his head? He never gave a date. He never gave a date at all. Back, not like the very first one, where he was talking about like getting me a grace period after, where it's my money against his money. But now he's just saying, hey, you come up here and you pay your way up here. Yeah, you beat me, I'll give you $2,000. Okay, it's gonna cost me near $1,000 if I do it out of my pocket. Yeah, a couple of vids ago. He never really gave a date. He just said grace period, whatever that is. Like I said, my baby is due late May, and weekend before or weekend after that, and stuff like that. I want to be home and being able to take care of both my children and my wife, and not leave to go to Washington to go do that shit, because that ain't me. I'm family man first. This is me second. So, preferably the next month would be ideal. Within a month or 2 months, something like that. Before May, obviously. April. Back. Anytime in between then, I'm good with. So, obviously, he'll see this, and like I said, no more petty videos pissing on one another. Let's try to act like professionals. People watch us, and they expect professionalism out of some of us. Yeah, there's comedy bits to it. I do it too, but let's do professionalism on this. Obviously, there is bad blood between us, and we need to get it settled. So, uh, ultimately, I guess I have to do what Jerome wants to do. Have to go there, have to do MMA, and it has to do this and that. So I ain't gonna back out of it. So there it is. I accepted it. Now, what are we gonna do to make this happen? So, interested in y'all guys' thoughts. I'm gonna check out of here. My phone's about dead, but Like I said, spread this around, get other people's ideas, what they think about it. Uh, Try to keep the trolls, from trolling around too much. I'm gonna keep them banned off because they don't get a voice on my channel. This is between me and Verum and the people that actually have legitimate, you know, thought process on how this should go. So, I think that's what we need to do. So, if you can, Verum, with, you know, you know, no more with this bullcrap video stuff to where you got to make fun of somebody. Let's do professionalism. How are we gonna set it up? What's the dates? What's a good time frame? Uh, the rules, regulations. How are we gonna do that? The cut mans, the corner man. Are we gonna have all that set up for when we get there? That way, I'm not spending a week in a motel trying to figure this shit out. So let's get it going, guys. I really hope this happens. I really, really, really do. And for the people that's behind me on this, which is very few, and I could care less, I'd rather have four at my back. Hey, let me ask you something. Which one's a bigger number, 1 or 5? Which one's a bigger number? Most people would say 5, right? But one team, one mindset, one goal in mind to get something done, one total involved group getting something done is bigger and will take out that bigger number. All you need is just a couple people that knows what they're doing to get things done. And Percy said 1, and that is correct. 1's a bigger number. You have one goal, one mindset, and one army behind you. All I need is just the true people. And hopefully I can bring you this fight. And win or lose, it happens. And I'm looking forward to it. And guys, thank you very much for sitting with me for 40 minutes while I just bullshitted. But yeah, uh, for anybody that's new that jumped onto the channel, more shit's coming after this. But right now, we're dealing with my old shit. So once that's over, we're good. But Stu, Percy, everybody else, Ricky, Red, all y'all cool. Y'all are awesome. I appreciate everything, and we're gonna hopefully move forward and get this thing done professionally, and looking forward to it. And we'll see what Graham's got to say. I accepted, so he's got to come up with something. Anyways, guys, peace out. Uh, be safe, and hopefully I can catch y'all in the next day or so. All right. Peace out, y'all.